All right, that was the health portion of this Wednesday. You know, we always do health and lifestyle. Now, of course, we hope that you've learned a few things. Even as we talk about our next topic, it still also aims to make people smile. Because if you're traveling and you're on holiday, you definitely have a smile on your face. So I want to talk about domestic travel and tourism in this beautiful country of ours. And to help us out, we have two gentlemen here who are going to give us more information on the same and allow them to introduce themselves. I'll start with the gentleman at the end there.
Good morning, viewers. My name is Lemmy, General Manager of Travel. I'm going to tell you on what makes people smile after they smile.
All right. And you, sir?
Thank you, and good morning, everyone. My name is Dr. Joseph Kethitu. I'm the Managing Director for Hemingway's Travel, and I was elected as the Chairman for Kenya's Association of Travel Agents. Thank you.
All right, congratulations.
Thank you for that. Yes.
All right.
I'll add a smile to the people.
Yes. Awesome. So when you talk about domestic tourism, first of all, just generally, because we are still in a country that this is now the third year post-COVID. I guess we'll start there. What have you seen as some of the trends of just local domestic travel?
Thank you, Willie. I think the first thing is to define these words.
Right.
And set them clear, so that we roll and run with them. Domestic travel is just movement within a country. And it's very simple. Even moving from your residence to the shopping mall, to the sightseeing, even moving from upcountry to the cities, not to stay for long, just to visit and check, those are domestic tourism. So ideally, that movement within a country, which is not highly restricted, is free as such because there are no passports, nothing like that. So it's really, that is the environment we are discussing. It's supposed to just improve the living standards of people.
All right, and then what trends have you seen? Yes, sir.
Now, the trend we have seen, we have two patterns of trend we are seeing here, pre-COVID and post-COVID. Pre-COVID, we are talking about 2019 and prior, before the COVID kicked in. And now post. What we are seeing is that domestic tourism, first in two perspectives, globally and regionally. Globally, domestic tourism peaked faster after the openings and the reduction of the restrictions of the COVID. And actually, within a year or so, some countries had even hit, China had even hit 100%. In this market, the domestic tourism is still picking up. We are looking at two statistics. It's international level and domestic. But the international level is peaking to the levels of 70% of 2019. But the domestic tourism has hit 100 in terms of 2019 numbers. Look, there are factors around that because there's an increase in population, there is an increase in terms of the monetary values.
Right.
So really that growth is showing this appetite. And also when you find the travel outside is a bit more expensive, is controlled. So people just do things internally. And that is, we are seeing a trend of high appetite, high uptake, increased occupancy in the hotels. Also where I sit at Hemingway's, I'm a director, and we have hotels. We are seeing occupancies that are going up, and more so patronized by locals. So really, there is appetite. In fact, in another word, we say revenge travel.
Okay.
So even the tourists, even our domestic people are doing a revenge travel. They didn't travel during COVID. They were locked a bit. Now I just want to move around and experience and enjoy this country.
Right.
Yeah.
And what do you think in terms of the revenge travel? What if people started to appreciate more, do you also think it's also an appreciation more of, what we have locally?
Yeah, you see, the domestic travel, as I keep on telling people, is the potential of it was realized during COVID and after COVID. And right now, there is an upward trajectory in terms of the people who are able to uptake the domestic travel. And this is occasioned by the fact that we are able to package good packages which are friendly to the domestic market. And in this case, when we say domestic market, we mean Kenyan citizens traveling around the country, and at the same time they travel to places where they see their deals. Kenyans are people who want good deals.
That's a deal.
Kenyans, they want to see that the value for the money that they pay is good and the services is good. So the revenge travel is really high. And they are competing now with the international clients. And I can tell you, like July and August, it's crazy. Where people have overbooked everywhere. Masai Mara is full. You know, the vehicles right now, they are all full. The safari vehicles, Mombasa, Diani, all those places right now, everything is on a spiral. So we appreciate the domestic market, but now what we are doing is we are moving from the traditional places that they are used to travel, that is Masai Mara, Mombasa. We are taking them to the north, Chalbi. We want them to go to places like Samburu. We want them to go to Kisumu and explore the lakeside. There is a lot of potential around. And also we are bringing up other different ways of doing tourism. Like we have educational trips. People are going to Tigoni for maybe tea, you know, the tea estates. Others are going to places like Mount Elgon to just see the different cultures and so many other things that are there. So what we are doing right now is to diversify the product so that we can give Kenya a big pool to choose from.
And if you think about, like you said, there are those places where people normally go. Is it also, as much as, yes, people are used to going there, is it also because, do you feel like travel and even just the hotel industry generally has improved its facilities, its offerings, and that has also caused that uptake?
Yes. I've actually traveled myself domestically, and what I have seen is that the products you're getting here are equally the same as international standards. So there is a highly improvement in terms of offerings. Look, people want value for money.
Right.
Whether small or big, that money needs to deliver value to their user, to the owner. And what we have seen is the properties have really refurbished their offerings. You go to the food, just want to taste the food, the culture of food. It's good. It's just not a food that is going to give you some stomach upsets.
Right.
So really, the roads and infrastructures are good. Because look, when you're looking about domestic tourism, you need to think through, all through, as to how do I move? What makes me get to that destination that I want to go? I'll use a road transport, I'll use air transport, whatever means. Sometimes I may use a boat. But those facilities are available. You're not struggling to do those movements. So the navigations, the products, the road, the infrastructure. Even I was in Naivasha last weekend. I was shocked. You just get into a restaurant or into a bar or into an outlet. It's giving you that feeling. We normally say look and feel. If the look and feel is good, people get value for money.
Right.
That is generally across the board. The products are not going down. They're up there. And that's what we try to push more of domestic. Because look, if you travel domestically, you need to feel equally the same when you travel to Dubai. And that has to be because of particular connections.
Right.
Yes.
And it is also because, just to tie on that as well, is it because of now competition? Could that also be a factor that people are now, you know, restaurants,
great.
hotels, etc.?
Thanks, Willie. We have one of our property in Watamu called Hemingway's Watamu. That property initially used to be aligned to the Western market, to the other markets, European markets. But post-COVID, we improved the product, we worked on it, and opened up with the rates to the domestic. So the domestic market is consuming international product. What happening is that people realized after COVID, you don't bank rate, you bank money. So in this question that people asked in a first class in an hospitality college, do you take high occupancy with low rate, or do you take high rate with low occupancy? The answer is clear, you bank money. You take high occupancy with low rate. So domestic tourism, property owners, facility owners realized they needed money. So offering a high product at a fair price just to create cash flow to enable you to continue your business.
Right.
So the products are superb.
Right.
Yeah.
Another thing also, when it comes to that is, you said, for example, now, bookings, you know, July, August, basically, zinaja. Of course, what about another book, but zinaja. So the thing is, what over time, as it's been through the years, do you think now, in terms of, because I know like Travel has the Lipa Pole Pole offerings, etc. Do you think that now they are more deliberate in planning this? We know Kenyans tunajulikana watu wa last minute. Pale August mtoto amefika ako nyumbani ndio unasema haya let's book. Do you think like for now these bookings that zimejaa, did they come earlier?
Okay. You see, the Kenyan population wanted some education in terms of travel. And what We Travel did is we came up with programs that will enable them to have an easy way of paying and traveling, but not on the last minute where you have to rush, look for the most expensive hotel because that time you are going for the premium rooms, look for the most expensive flight because at that time the flight are almost 75 to 80% full, and at that time you get the premium rate. So, for example, we have the Christmas out right now for Kenyan domestic market.
So you can book for Christmas
right now. And the good thing is that as View Travel, what we normally do, we pre-book most of these services for our clients, and then we give them a payment plan. For the flight, we have several seats that we have already pre-booked for them, and at a very good rate. And then we do a good package with the hotel, and the hotel we also pre-book. So when you pay the package, it's like you're just buying milk or something from the shop. It is that price, and there is nothing will change. So what we have realized over time is that when you give people a good deal at a very early stage, they're going to have a good payment plan. For example, if a package costs around 100,000 shillings, you can start doing deposit of 10,000 every month until December. And then towards the December time, that is when we give you your travel documents, like the hotel vouchers, the flight, and also do your transfers when the time comes. So the Kenyan people have appreciated that they don't need to rush to travel. They just need to plan, and as a travel company, we help them plan. And by helping them plan is to make sure that they have that payment plan, which is very flexible. And most of the people who have booked for June, July, August, even September is also busy. Most of those people have booked early because also we give the information, and the information is what matters. That if you don't book early, other people will book early and you're going to miss your holiday. So Kenyans are appreciating, and we're also appreciating that they are able to book very early and have a payment plan where we can do the lipa pole pole. Others are even doing lipa later with the help of other players in the market. So it's quite a good thing to see Kenyans travel and pay in advance.
Right. So I want to ask you on your role as the new hat you've just acquired. When, as a travel agency, there are definitely other factors like prevailing market conditions, like the cost of living in HSC.
Yes.
Do you think that those factors then also have an impact in domestic travel, whereby if people are complaining, maisha ni ngumu nini, people are less likely to travel? What is your experience?
Yes. So the new position that I got is the chairman of Kenya Association of Travel Agents and View Travel, the Views and Travel. I want you to join that association because we want travel to be regulated.
Right.
There is always fear people when they put their deposits or money, will there be travel on the due date? But let me come to your question. With the cost of living, mzigo ikiwa mingi, are people going to travel? Are people going to enjoy life? Are we seeing a direction of that? For sure, the answer is yes. Travel is within what we call, in yourself, disposable income calculation.
Right.
And the disposable income, you talk about saying, I have 5,000 shillings. How do I allocate this, this, this? So I leave a balance that I can use for travel. In the developed world, they have mastered that art. I think here we're just starting it. Rarely do you find somebody saying, I'm setting my money towards travel, but it's something picking up. So what we are seeing is that economic pressure is there, and of course impacting. However, as we defined what is domestic travel, I just learned in Nigeria, travel is in their DNA. And Nigerians are on the move, not just leaving the country, but you can move within. So here we are saying, even when the disposable income is low, there are people who have never visited their county sites, not even far, using complicated transport systems. So people need just to access. Today, ask somebody, do you know where is Two Rivers? They will struggle, some of them. Let people just access facilities, move within their earning capacities. There are those who pay more for accommodations. You can even have what you call staycations. You can just go, check, you sleep, you don't sleep. So really, yes, economic pressure is a factor to affect domestic, but remember, travel and tourism, it solves a social need. So when you travel, you have a social need fixed. You create an environment of relax, reduces pressure, reduces a lot of, backwards issues of health. So really, people should still travel in the midst of this tight economy because it's just it's like a meal. People save money to travel. You save money for a meal. You save money for school fees. So really that, I think, is just a living way of living. These pressures of life aren't new or going to go now. So it's how do we live within that? That is the situation that I'm seeing. It's happening, but we are continuing to educate the market, continuing to have members of the travel trade, and Lemmy and the likes and others, to avail, it's like a catalog of products, and you actually said it, cheap, expensive, and everything. Choose what you can, what fits your pocket, and move. Yeah.
And be proud of wherever you are.
I'm very proud.
And enjoy.
Yes, be proud.
All right. And let me mention something about staycations. Do you see an uptick in that? Because that's one way to, like you said, enjoy where you are. Yeah. There are people who don't know the sites, even in this Nairobi. At a park to hapa tu. Hawajaenda, hizo nature trail walks, etc. Do you see that uptake of things like staycations where people just, you want a change of scenery, kama sasa sisi, tuko na watoto nyumbani, tunataka kupumzika hata ka weekend. Yes.
Okay, in terms of staycation, and this was amplified more during COVID because you could not leave Nairobi.
Yes.
So what we did is that we came up with packages with hotels in Nairobi because people thought traveling is getting out of Nairobi. But we realized traveling is something you do even if you're not in your house. Where are you sleeping that night? Which hotel? So the uptake is really good, and especially for people with no much time like police, teachers,
reporters,
media people.
Yes.
Yeah, you can just check out of this studio. I book you in a facility in the park. We have hotel in the park. We have facilities in the side of Karen. We have in the sides of Thika Road. All around the city, we have a facility. The only thing that we need is just to get your date. You just check in there, and tomorrow morning you check out of that hotel. You can celebrate your birthday there. You can celebrate your anniversary. You can have your engagement party in those hotels. And in the morning, you check in for a job. So those are the kind of staycation that we have. And also we have other people who will just go there for something like baby moons,
Yes.
baby showers. The others go for graduation parties. They spend there. There are some families that they just want to get out of the four corners of their normal life, that is their house. They go to another place so that they can just appreciate, being served there, the ambience, the kids, if they are around, they don't have time to go to Mombasa or Masai Mara. They just take them somewhere with recreational facilities. Most of these hotels have very nice spas. They have very nice recreational facilities. So it is it's a very good way of just relaxing within the city, and most of the staycations are done within Nairobi, but even in Kisumu they can do staycation within Kisumu. In Mombasa the same thing. If you go to somewhere like Nakuru, we have very nice places where us in Nairobi we go for self-drive to those places, but guys in Nakuru, they can take advantage of those facilities and do staycations within Nakuru. So it's something that Kenyans are appreciating. Kenyans did not realize that you can go to a hotel, sleep, and your home is like 10 minutes away.
Yes.
So it's quite something, and we're happy that everybody is embracing the staycation.
Yeah, the change of environment does wonders. Does wonders. Sure. All right, and maybe also if you can ask one of the things that we've realized, so like Lemia said, you can do this in Kisumu, you can do this in Mombasa. Do you also find that, what should be incorporated in some of these facilities, and you've alluded to it earlier on, is the culture. So for example, if you go to Mombasa, you want to taste the pweza, unataka kuona mbaazi, nini. If you go to Kisumu, samak, etc. Do you think that incorporating culture will, increase or help, or rather boost the offerings of these different facilities? Exactly.
Well said, Willis. Look, you want to test something new. All this is quest for a new thing. And sometimes new is not just new. It's a stylish, it's taste, it's look. So I still remember in Mombasa there is a restaurant that serves, I think, Swahili, pilau or something. And actually we stepped there. The first thing is, afternoon, can we go for pilau? You know, it's not like you've not had pilau in your house or something. But that feeling that I'm going to eat a costarian meal, a particular one, you get to Kisumu, you want that fish. In fact, served, you know, just
fresh from the lake.
Fresh from the lake. So really, these things are adding into it.
Right.
And there are some of the things that are attracting. And look, somebody who stays in Kisumu and is being served fish along the lake might not be excited. But served meal comes from the eastern side. I feel it, I enjoy it. So really, the culture, it's one of the offerings. You know, the other day I went and just I hadn't seen, you know, I went to Manyata. You know, just offering, sitting in the Manyata and, you know, going to that house, sitting inside there, the fire is there. It was really thrilling. It's not a complex life.
Right.
But really, it's a life I can't imagine. But the owners there are very happy. They are taking you through that corner of Manyata house and how it is done, where the sleeps, where the food is served. Really, I tell you, Willis, life is not complicated things that make it work. It's the simple things.
Right. And
some of these just all count. You can take a business class all the way, but don't enjoy. And a guy another one uses a shuttle or something, and it gets a value for that. Yes. So
it's also checking out value for money. I was talking about that, and he mentioned it as well. I mean, when it comes to value for money, that is something that everybody's always asking, and I think I asked you this before. Just by way of guidelines, you could guide people, basically, and also I know you sit in that position as well, because also there are a lot of people who get scammed, there are a lot of people who, so what are the things to look out for to know that you're dealing with legitimate people?
Yeah, I think that's a really, it's a really hard one because you see, you find that some companies have been legitimate for a long time, but along the way, things go south and things really get bad. But for now, I think most Kenyans are cautious. And if you look at View Travel model of business, I don't meet 90% of my clients. We just talk on phone, WhatsApp, emails. They pay me, they go for their travel, they come back, they write a good review, without even knowing who it is.
Probably others saying, oh, knew you.
I can't put a name on the face.
Right.
So, for credibility, View Travel, we are lucky because we are part of a very big organization, the Royal Media Service. But for other people who are using any other travel agent, it's always good to do a due diligence, look for a background check, look for maybe the organization or any professional body that company is associated with. You can also even do trips to their offices because any serious company, unless it's an online company, an online company where you don't need to go to an office or they don't have a physical office where they receive guests, but they have a physical office where they do their operations. So if it's a company like View Travel, you know, if I go to TRM second floor, you'll find us on TRM second floor. If you go to Kisumu Mega Plaza 10th floor, you'll find View Travel there. If you come to Westland Office Park, you'll find us there. So it's always good if you have a doubt to go there, sit down, understand if these people even understand what your needs are. And also another thing is there is a lot of dynamics in terms of online business. So the credibility part is for you to do a due diligence, background check, and also referrals from other people who have already used that product. Yeah.
I want to add something, because that question speaks to my new role.
The docket.
Yes.
Yes.
Nobody says he's a thief. No one will ever say I'm a thief. So, and you, the customer, on the other hand, you want credibility, you want confidence, and you want those kind of things. So in developed market and where we are getting ourselves to develop and bring travel to maturity, there are checks and balances so that people don't lose money, because it's hard money. So the push is that engage accredited service provider. Accredited means a provider that is recognized by a particular body. You can imagine going to a lawyer who is not recognized by the Law Society of Kenya and anything. You'll be controlled through. So why do you want to go to a travel agent that is not recognized by the Kenya Association of Travel Agents? Why do that? Because what happens at the body, we have got checks and balances. If you get your money lost through a travel agent that is registered, you put that through the association, and we have a discipline committee. We're able to check to this agent, and we're able to get your money back, because there are checks and balances of rules and regulations, of codes of conduct. So what I am pushing, and I would wish the members of public, as we open up the space of domestic tourism, as any other business, conmen, people with bad motives will come into it. But try as much as possible to work within the framework of regulated organizations. That gives you peace of mind. You might pay a premium, you might pay something, but somebody who tells you this is too cheap, cheap is expensive. So what I'm saying is that, I'm not saying the regulated institutions do charge more, but they are structured. You can verify, you can push back your, it's like importing a car from Japan. You want to deal with a recognized and verified body, rather than just anybody on the street, you'll lose your money. So that is the message I'm saying. We just work with proper, and it's very easy to know. Whoever is giving you the service, check their website, who accreditates them. You can even do a one-step check to the accreditation body, and they tell you it's a good member. You're good to go.
That's it. All right. Yeah. All right. Well, we're told that the time is up, but we'd like to say thank you so much. Domestic travel, and I mean, it's something we need to talk about. I know many of you are already planning, like say the holidays are coming. You can make sure you check out Lemmy and View Travel on all the platforms as well. Make sure you check out the Hemingway's group of hotels as well. You can book, go, and enjoy yourself. Thank you so much, Bwana Chairman, Bwana GM. Leo naongelesha kila mtu na title yake. Asanteni sana for coming, and this conversation must continue. Remember, the reason I call this Home is Best is because we need to understand that we need to celebrate what we have around us. So much, we are sold a lot of narratives about the West. Dubai is great, Thailand is good, America is okay, but home, Apo, before you break your back to go to those other places, why don't you explore what you have around you? And then after you do that, you can go elsewhere. It's good to be aspirational. By all means, travel to Dubai. Go there. Manifest. But also manifest to Kundani and enjoy. Sindio? Mungu abariki sana. The conversation continues. Travel domestically. Appreciate Kenya. Peace and love.